the Planning Commission meeting of March 10th, 2022, per Executive Order N-08-21, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting will be conducted entirely by teleconferencing. For the Brown Act, we have posted a notice of the meeting agenda 72 hours in advance. This meeting is being conducted on a Zoom webinar platform, and members of the public may participate and provide comments by accessing the meeting online or by calling into the meeting. Instructions are included on the city's website and on today's agenda. And for those of you who are tired of hearing this same spiel, well, I am too. Hopefully, we will be back to in-person meetings very soon. So with that, I'd like to now call roll. As I call your name, please indicate if you are present. Commissioner Austin.
Present.
Commissioner Boomhauer.
Present.
Commissioner Malbrough.
Present.
Commissioner Modane is absent. Commissioner Otsuchi.
Present.
Vice Chairman Whalen.
Present.
And Chairman Hoffman is present. The staff members online with us today are Angela Colton from Development Services, Renee Mezzo from Development Services, Seth Lichny from the Planning Department, sorry Seth, Shannon, Lauren Hendrickson, Deputy City Attorney, and Tony Khalil, City Engineer. So with that, we will now start our agenda, and we'll start with public comment on non-agenda items. This portion of the agenda is an opportunity for the public to make comments on planning-related matters that are not on today's agenda. Any person wishing to speak will have 3 minutes maximum to provide testimony. If you'd like to speak, please click on the raised hand icon on your screen. And with that, let's see if we got anybody. And seeing as no one is raising their hand, we will go ahead and move on to items. There are no items being requested to be continued or withdrawn. And we will not be having any items placed on the consent agenda. So with that, we will approve the agenda as is, and we'll go into director's reports. And can we start with the Planning Department?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to mention the Planning Department's Build Better SD initiative is currently under public review. This is a citywide initiative to enable faster delivery of public spaces across the city in an equitable and sustainable manner. It includes code amendment and improvement program and an update to the development impact fee structure. We'll be hosting a workshop on Zoom tonight from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And there's more information, including registration links for that Zoom meeting at www.sandiego.gov/buildbettersd. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we have Elise Lowe here today to give a director's report. Elise.
Good morning, Chair Hoffman and members of the Planning Commission. It's my distinct pleasure to be here today on behalf of the mayor and the city of San Diego to give a thank you to Vice Chair Whalen and Commissioner Austin for their service to the Planning Commission. I understand that today will likely be the last meeting of the commissioners. It's absolutely important for me to take a moment here to thank you both for your exemplary service, your thoughtful commentary over the years, sometimes colorful commentary, but definitely your participation, your volunteer time that you have spent. I can't even imagine the number of hours that you have spent in your many years under this appointment. Just wanted to make sure that we know that your contributions have helped San Diegans enjoy a better quality of life. From your design comments, Commissioner Austin's expertise in architecture, site design, Vice Chair Whalen with his expertise in stormwater and environmental issues, and your consult to the city through this commission has just been absolutely fabulous. We've really enjoyed working with you. Thank you so much for caring about our staff and for asking thoughtful questions and challenging them. And we're going to miss you. So you're going to be succeeded by some fantastic people that we look forward to get to knowing. But it's been our pleasure. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like I said last Friday, my way is to leverage other people's collaborative skills to a better outcome, and that's what the city staff are. That's the reason why we were successful, because the city staff did such a good job. So I appreciate the kind words, but they should look in the mirror too, because they're just as important.
Absolutely. Echo those comments. And, it's an honor to serve. I get more out of it than I'm sure I give back.
Mhm.
One of my pet peeves is people who say they're humbled when they're actually being honored. So I'm honored, even though there's times I had humbling experiences. So anyway, thanks so much for all that you do, and for the kind words.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of planning commissions over the years too. This is a good one.
It is. Yeah, we've got good colleagues up here.
Well, and just from my point of view, we've already, last meeting, we kind of said our goodbyes prematurely, as it turns out. And also at the nice party that Jim hosted. But just, these are my two good friends. And I really are going to miss you guys on the commission, but obviously I'll see a lot of you outside. So
You better.
Until you move to Mexico.
well, you'll be coming down there.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thank you again.
All
you're
right.
welcome.
You're welcome, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, Elise. Okay, any commission comments? We'll just raise your hand if we have any commission comments. Seeing as none, we will go ahead and start the agenda with item number 1, that is the Housing Action Package Accessory Dwelling Unit Bonus Program Amendment. And will staff, Melissa, go ahead and give your presentation.
Great, thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right. So good morning, commissioners. My name is Melissa Garcia, and I'm a senior planner with the Planning Department. Today, I'm joined by Seth Lichney. He's program manager with the Planning Department. And today we are here to present the Housing Action Package Accessory Dwelling Unit Bonus Program Amendment. The Commission recently recommended adoption of the Homes for All of Us Housing Action Package. The Housing Action Package was successfully adopted by City Council on February 8, 2022. The Housing Action Package included housing programs and incentives, implementation of SB 9, and refinements to the ADU regulations. Specifically related to the ADUs, the amendments included setback requirements, new landscape and street tree requirements, and included new TIF requirements. During the February City Council meeting, the City Council President specifically requested this proposed amendment. And the amendment proposed today is as requested at that February 8th meeting. The ADU bonus program regulations are part of the ADU regulations found in Chapter 14, Article 1, Division 3 of the San Diego Municipal Code. The ADU bonus program was created in response to AB 671 and adopted in 2020. The current ADU bonus program allows for one affordable ADU deed restricted for 15 years to very low, low, or moderate income households for each unrestricted ADU. The proposed amendment would reduce the time restriction for low and very low income ADUs to 10 years instead of 15. There would be a 10-year deed restriction for low and very low income units. The 15-year deed restriction for moderate income units will remain unchanged. This change will incentivize the development of very low and low income ADU units by lessening the length of the deed restriction by 5 years. Staff recommendation before you today is to approve the Housing Action Package ADU Bonus Program Amendment. I did want to provide one clarification. The amendment proposed today is on page 5 of the attachment to the staff report. Other sections were included in the attachment. However, the only amendments are on page 5, letter D, ADU bonus for affordable ADUs. And that concludes staff's presentation, and we are available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Sorry, got to unmute. Thank you, Melissa. Nice job. And let's go to any clarification questions. Yes, Commissioner Austin.
Yeah, I just want to be clear on the process. It speaks about affordable units, and the bonus is getting, 1-for-1, as I understand it. But in terms of process, let's say somebody is coming in with a home that they're going to remodel, and they want to add ADUs, and one they're willing to designate as an affordable unit. Does the entire project get any kind of incentive? Is it considered administrative because of that? Or is it strictly only applying to the ADUs if they're submitted independently? Does that make sense?
I think so. The program basically allows for a property owner, if they want to participate in the ADU bonus program, to develop additional ADUs above what would currently be allowed on the through the ADU process. The restriction is that one of the units has to be deed restricted for every non-deed restricted unit. So the process would be the same for approving those ADUs, as long as it's in an area that qualifies for the bonus program and meets the requirements for the ADU bonus program as well. Okay. But there aren't necessarily development incentives that come along with it.
And so my question, does it carry over to any improvements they're doing to usually there's an existing residence that's not an ADU, right? And so does it carry over if they're doing it at the same time, or it's the only bonus or the incentive is the fact you can do additional ADUs?
That's correct. The bonus is the additional ADUs.
Okay, so no favoritism for for a remodel or addition to a house, right? If they're doing that at the same time.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, good. That's clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other? Yes, Commissioner Boomhauer.
This is in the staff report, but Ms. Garcia, can you just clarify for the record the area median income definitions for very low, low, and moderate income, just so that's out there?
Or do you mean the percentages?
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
Melissa, I can answer that.
I was going to say, sorry, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
Very low income is defined as making less than 60% of the area median income. Low income would be between 80 and 60% of the area median income. Moderate income would be between 80 and 120% of AMI.
And so the intent of this policy writ large is to try to have income diversification within existing neighborhoods, yes?
I think that's a part of it. The ADU bonus program is intended to incentivize the development of deed restricted affordable ADUs at each level.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other clarification questions? Yes, Commissioner Malbrough.
Yes, I have one quick question. I was just curious, does staff know has this been done in any other areas in California to reduce the deed restrictions? And has it worked?
This program was adopted in late 2020. We haven't seen any other cities that have adopted a similar program, so we don't really necessarily have information on the changing of the years required for the deed restriction. I think our program is fairly unique and pointed to as an example by the state of California of a way to incentivize ADUs at affordability levels.
Thank you.
Okay. We will now begin and open the public testimony portion of this item. And we will go to our first speaker. You'll have 3 minutes to give testimony. And let's start with Jeff Huter.
Good morning. This is Jeff Huter from Neighbors for a Better San Diego. First of all, on the AMI question, I think you probably want to recheck that. My understanding is that very low is 50% AMI and low is 60% AMI. And I think there's some confusion about what the Housing Commission is using and this 80% number that's been passed around in some of these other discussions. I don't have those numbers in front of me. I just asked, and you might want to recheck that. With regard to the actual proposed amendment, certainly Neighbors for a Better San Diego has been advocating for true affordable housing as part of the ADU incentive program. And so we're glad to see this amendment proposed with regard to lowering those AMI levels. Our concern, though, is with the deed term. 10 years seems like a long time, but these units are going to be gone pretty quick, and we may regret that we let them go away, given that you get effectively an extra market rate ADU. These are going to be gone in 10 years, and now we'll be back in the same place trying to figure out how to provide low-income housing, very low-income housing, and high opportunity neighborhoods. A double concern for us is the bonus program, as we know, applies within transit priority areas and TPAs. And with the TPA, it includes not just existing transit stops, bus and trolley, but it also includes future transit stops. And those future transit stops can have a planning horizon, not just of years, but of decades. So we're in a situation where we're justifying giving somebody incentive to build unlimited number of bonus ADUs based on being in a transit priority area. We're giving them a 10-year deed, and the bus stop or trolley stop that is being granted on may not even exist until the deed expires. And so what we would advocate is that you put a stipulation that if a project is being permitted for bonus ADUs under this program, that the deed term be extended from when that transit stop appears, not from the date of the construction of the project. And this it wouldn't affect existing transit stops. This would have no effect on building bonus projects outside of the TPA because there's no transit planning restriction there. And that would be our recommendation, to take this amendment and further amendment to make that stipulation regarding future transit stops. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any other speakers. So if you would like to speak on this, there is a raise hand icon at the bottom of your screen. And we have one here, Sharon Gell. Sharon, you'll have 3 minutes.
I don't need that much. I would like to speak in favor of this. I live in an older neighborhood, Mission Hills, where ADUs has been common for over 100 years. And these units used to be very affordable, but for the last 50 years or something, the city has been limiting the number of multifamily housing that can be built in the various communities. And we have a 30-foot height limit along the coast to prevent multifamily housing. So that's our basic problem. Once we solve that problem and allow enough housing to meet our needs, just market rate housing, then we won't need as many of these Band-Aid approaches to try to solve the basic problem. So I don't think you need to worry about the 10-year limit. I'm hoping that in 10 years, we will have solved the basic problem. We will be allowing people to build middle-class apartments in San Diego. I would urge you to support this program. Thank you.
Okay, Sharon, thank you. And I'm not seeing any other speakers. Okay, so with that, we will go ahead and close the public testimony portion. And let's go right into Planning Commission discussion. I'd like to start with Commissioner Austin.
Well, I think the points that were just made give me, chance to think about that. The 10 years will go by fairly quickly. But I do like the idea of allowing an incentive to do more and create more housing, because the housing, let's face it, just isn't happening fast enough in San Diego. I don't know what the stats are now, but at one point, I think I saw that we needed something like 16,000, and I don't know what the current rate is of replacement. That's on an annual basis, that we are only getting 6,000. Does staff have an update on what the ratios are today at what the need is per year to keep up, and what's actually happening?
Commissioner Austin, we can get the numbers for you for our regional housing needs assessment allocation. We're putting together the data to submit to the state of California, reporting the 2021 housing permitting that occurred. But we're still, that is still in a draft form. So I don't have necessarily numbers that we can provide you on our progress under this new regional housing needs assessment cycle, but we will get you the numbers for what was allocated to the city of San Diego.
One of the things I found interesting is asking where we stand with the Coastal Commission adopting what we're doing for ADUs. Is they're recommending a 7-year review period to see how's it really working. Something like that is also something that sounds like it might not be a bad idea, because these are well-intended programs, but they have consequences that are unintended. And sometimes a review period, out about 7 years is enough time to see how's it really working. So I'm gonna stop there and hear what the other commissioners have to say. And so let's do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me go to Vice Chair Whalen.
I'll make a motion to support staff recommendation first.
I'll second.
And it'll be an interesting experiment, because if 10 years is enough to induce more people to do units, I've always felt it's been a supply issue, and maybe it'll work. Let's see.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for adopting staff's recommendation by Vice Chair Whalen, seconded by Commissioner Austin. Commissioner Boomhauer.
So thank you. This isn't going to happen very often, but I actually have to agree with Mr. Huter and Neighbors for a Better San Diego. This ADU incentive is not going to solve the housing affordability crisis, but it's a piece where I believe I'm probably going to start moving into the disagree with Neighbors for a Better San Diego territory, is that I believe we're only going to solve this by providing more housing of all types at all price points in every neighborhood of San Diego. And so this is just a piece of that larger strategy. I don't have a real problem with adopting council's recommended reduction in the timeline for the deed restriction, because I think if this works, and as Vice Chair Whalen said, it incentivizes production, then people are going to continue to take advantage of it, because we're not going to see 100% of the people that are interested in doing this do it immediately. So this will trickle in over time, and that should lead to a supply of this over time. And I think that it gives us the ability down the road to look back at it and see if it's working and see if we need to make changes. So I'm fully in support of this motion.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Malbrough.
Thank you. Yes, I'm also in support of this change. I realize that the ADUs are not going to be the full answer to our housing needs, but it is an assistance in going in that position. But I also want to advocate that I would like to see that 7-year review. We can't just put a new idea out there and then leave it alone. We should have it. We should take a serious look at it down the road to see if it's working or to see if there's anything that's needed to improve on it. And so again, I'm in favor of this particular motion.
Okay, Commissioner Otsuchi.
And I'm also in favor of the motion itself. It's another tool in the box that we were able to use. And I'm sure that we'll have the opportunity to really review it, you know, at that point, if there's, you know, some change required in that. And one of the other things that is now in the toolbox is the last community plan update for Barrio Logan addressed that, and hopefully some of the other community plan updates will look into that further. So I will be supporting the motion.
Okay, thank you. For my part, yes, I also am in support of the motion. I agree with all the commission comments. And especially Commissioner Boomhauer, I totally agree that this is just one part of hopefully a comprehensive strategy for providing more affordable housing. So that we can't take it in isolation, it's part of the whole. So I can definitely support it. So with that, if there's no other comments from the commission, we can go ahead and take a vote. The motion on the floor is to support staff's recommendation made by Vice Chair Whalen, seconded by Commissioner Austin. Commissioner Austin.
Aye.
Commissioner Boomhauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Malbrough.
Aye.
Commissioner Otsuchi.
Aye.
Vice Chair Whalen.
Aye.
And Chairman Hoffman is an aye. That passes unanimously. And with that, Renee, unless you tell me differently, we are completed with our agenda. And before we adjourn, I'd just like to say farewell one more time to Commissioner Austin and Vice Chair Whalen. Thank you.
Hasta
both.
luego.
Farewell. Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Enjoy your Thursdays back.
Hey,
Thank you.
we'll be down in Mexico.
Bye.